One of the Jungian archetypes that I work with a lot is Hanuman. But it's not necessarily, to really understand it, you have to think of the Ramayana and just the character that he was, and his how devotion was central to his selfhood and his being, and how he was a devotee of Rama. And if you assume that Rama is not a person but a personification of perfection, that's the whole point of the bow and arrow, the ability to shoot. The arrow never reaches its mark, but it's a vector that you're trying to reach. It's the closeness. Every shot is the training shot for the next shot. That's agile, right? And that's what the Ramayana, the little symbol is that bow and arrow. And if you think about Hanuman, this empowered demigod god, it's a reflection of human beings. We are like young demigods. He was so foolish when he began. He saw that the sun in the sky, and he thought it was a mango, and he was so empowered that he could reach like the Greek Icarus for the sun. But unlike the mortal Icarus, whose wings would melt and he would crash, Hanuman was so powerful, he actually would have grabbed the sun and put it out. Indra had to knock him out with a vajra, that lightning bolt, that inspiration, that intervention that life gives us, that says, you are climbing too high, too fast. And the problem is not that you won't do it. The problem is that you will. You are a danger unto yourself and to the world. And so he gets stunned and he lies on the ground. And then the other gods come around and Indra said, mate, that is so-and-so's favorite son. Like, what do you think you've done? Right? I forget whose son it is. Is it Vishnu's son?
Pavan. So that's wind god, the wind god.
Right.
He's called Pavan Putra. So
yeah, it's his son. You better sort your shit out. And that's when he becomes a devotee of Shiva indirectly, because he learns to still himself. He learns to focus and harness, practice his discernment, practice his intentionality, practice his presence. And through those acts, it is spoken about in the Ramayana about his devotion to Rama, which is perfection. But if you really think of all the big things that happen, it's not Rama and Lakshman that do it. It's actually him. He's the one that carries the mountain. He's the one that fetches the herb. He's the one that, and he gets his tail set on fire. Yeah, his lowest chakra, but he runs around and burns the Rakshas's village. And at the end, they give him jewels and pearls, and he bites them. And they go, what are you doing? He says, because if you're telling me these things are valuable, then I want to see. And they go, see what? He said, no, they must have they must have Rama's name in them. And they said, but come on, that's ridiculous. You can't say that that's the only measure of, how do you know that that's what you're looking for? And he said, but if you rip open my flesh, you'll find it written on my bones. That's what I want. I'm devoted to that legacy, that perfection, but not because I ever want to be king, but because I want to be the big brother that everyone wished they had. I want to be the one that steps up into the shoes of the father when the father is not there. I want to be the one that reminds us of our superpower and our sameness and our humanity and our, right? So that's the archetype. Right. So then